Today is the 1st of June, the official start of hurricane season. And do I think about Hurricane Dorian and what we could have done better? And especially what the government of the Bahamas could have done better. And Abaco, I want to tell you, there's a lot of things come in your mind when you are locked out of your home, you're locked out of your town. You could think clearly. And I just thought about this today, that the Prime Minister, Darren Henfield, I remember a couple of days before Hurricane Dorian, they were on the radio, Darren was in town and trying to get people to recognize the strength of this hurricane, but we weren't paying attention. We didn't have the data. The Prime Minister and Darren, they had the data. They had the power to save lives. But because of what the Prime Minister and this FNM government did and did not do, they are solely responsible for every death that occurred in Abaco. I'll tell you why. You see, Kai is being locked out of Abaco for 6 weeks. The Prime Minister, those have to tell me when to go back. They had to sign my card. They haven't signed my card. They have ultimate power to lock you out, to lock you in, to tell you what to do under this residency order. They had the power like they do now. You see what they're doing with our lives because it's the virus. They're telling us when to go to church, when to go to the bar. Every aspect of our lives they're controlling under this order. Well, Bahamian people and the world, didn't this Prime Minister have the same power before the hurricane? Didn't the same Prime Minister evacuated Abaco after the storm and put them into the gyms and elsewhere in Nassau? Don't he have that power then? Did he have the power then that he has now? The same contingency order. The Prime Minister had the data. He had the power under the law. He saw the hurricane coming. He saw the path of the hurricane while Abaco was busy with their lives trying to prepare, but we didn't know what the Prime Minister knew. We didn't have the power that the Prime Minister had then and have now. The Prime Minister of the Bahamas, I see why they didn't come to the memorial, because they were on a guilt trip. He recognized now, what Kai just recognized, that he had the power to save every life. He could have put a contingency order in place like he have now, and had the Defense Force and Bahamas Air take every person out of Abaco through this contingency order that he has on our heads now and move us out of the path of the hurricane. He did it after the hurricane. So I feel that is the reason why this Prime Minister didn't come to the memorial, because he recognized that he is totally responsible for every life that lost, every life. It's in the hands of this FNM government and the most honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Hubert Minnis. They're responsible for every life that we lost during Hurricane Dorian, because he has the power, just like how we do now, to have moved us out of harm's way. So I want to let the world know, Abaco know, all the ones that remain, that I put the death of every person that died in the storm during Hurricane Dorian, this Prime Minister and this useless F&M government is totally responsible because they didn't act responsible before the hurricane. And neither have they act responsible after the hurricane. So every death, every life was lost, could have been saved if the Prime Minister would have used the power that he's using now to dictate our pace in our life. He had that same power to move Abaco and Abaconian out of the pathway of Hurricane Dorian through the same contingency order that he's displacing the lives of Abaco and the Bahamas with this power. That is what I believe why this Prime Minister didn't come to the memorial, because he was on a guilt trip, because he was solely responsible and still is responsible, him and this government, for every life that was lost during Hurricane Dorian. This is one of these Kai Care video let you know that our Prime Minister, as far as I'm concerned, is a murderer, because of what he didn't do cost the lives of every Abaconian, thousands gone, because he didn't act responsible to save lives. It's one of these Kai Care video letting the world know that our Prime Minister, the most honorable Prime Minister, and this F&M government refuse to come to the rescue of people that was in a path of Hurricane Dorian. They had the resources through the Defense Force and Bahamas Air to evacuate us before the storm. But they let us go through the storm and we lost many lives. Then we that will remain, they then come and evacuated us. Too late. It ought to have happened under the same power that he's using now to have us evacuated before the storm. Kai Case. That's why he's here.